Hey Kinders! All right, so welcome back to the art room. I'm Mrs. Ash. All right, today we are going to be working on, who can guess what this says? I think you might be able to predict by looking at what the picture is. We are going to be practicing with scissors today. Okay, this says scissor skills. So, for any parents that are nearby, things that we need today. We need a pair of scissors. We need 3 pieces of paper that we can cut up. So, do you have any scrap paper laying around? Okay, so any paper that you're not using, maybe it's old construction paper, maybe it's an old art project, maybe it's a calendar that you're not using, maybe mail that nobody needs, an old magazine, something like that. Okay, so it doesn't have to be perfect white paper. We're going to be using stuff that we're allowed to cut up. Now, hold on. You have to ask your family before you start cutting up anything in your house. Does everybody understand that? Please scream yes at your screen. So you can't just go cut up something in your house unless you ask someone in your family. Okay, so I know I'm allowed to cut up this paper, and so that's why I'm going to be cutting it up. So make sure you're allowed to be cutting the paper you are using today. All right, so we have our scissors. The first thing we need to learn about our scissors, and you might know this, you might have done cutting in pre-K or done it with your family, but I'm going to go over it just in case. So we have our scissors. We have the little hole and we have the bigger hole. The little hole is for your thumb, okay, and the little hole always stays on the top. So when you're cutting, you want the little hole to stay up. We don't want it to go this way. Okay, because then our arm has to be upside down. It gets uncomfortable. So you always want to keep the little hole up, which means your thumb will always go up as well. So your thumb always stays up. If you find yourself turning your hand like this to cut, keep your thumb up, okay? So you watch me cut and you tell me, can you yell at your screen if I'm doing it right or wrong, okay? So if I am doing thumb up, you can give me a go, 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 because I can keep cutting. If I'm not doing thumb up, if I'm doing thumb down, can you say stop? Okay, ready? Here we go. Let's make sure I got this on the screen for you. You're yelling go, 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 aren't you? Because my thumb is up and I'm cutting. Now let's try this way. Oh, Mrs. Ash, stop, stop, stop. You're cutting crazy. Do you see how look at my elbow. Look what my elbow does when I'm cutting upside down like that. Your elbow goes up. You want to keep that elbow down, okay? All right, so when we're holding our scissors, our thumb will always be up and in the small hole. And you can use just tall man, that's your middle finger, in that one, or you can fit a couple fingers in there, okay? I can fit like 3 fingers in there, whatever feels comfortable to you. Can go in the other side. All right, now I want you to practice opening and closing, opening and closing, opening and closing. Can you do it fast? Can you do it slow? Good. All right, now it's time to grab a piece of paper. If you have a piece of paper that's small like this is kind of perfect because we can cut right through it. I can cut it into pieces. If you have a family member nearby, you could ask them, hey, could you take this piece of paper for me and could you cut it into strips? And what I mean by that is, this is like an old piece of art that I'm not using anymore. Maybe your family could cut it into strips for you like this. Or maybe you could do it if you're a really good cutter. You've already done this before, okay? So now I have these strips. That makes it easy to practice cutting, okay? Because I can cut through it in one cut. Here we go, ready? Cut, cut. Oh, it's like I'm cutting up food. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, bing, bing. And gotcha, gotcha. This hand, you also want to keep your thumb up on. So when you're holding the paper, this is the hand that you're holding your paper with. This one you also hold with your thumb up, and your thumb up is on this side. Don't cut your finger. There we go. I cut up my entire strip of paper into all little pieces. Let's see. Look at all these. I cut all those. Try not to make too much of a mess or your parents will be mad at me. Okay, so I cut up some paper. That's our first step, just to try practicing cutting through paper. Are we trying to cut anything specific or make something? No, we're just practicing our cutting. Careful of your hand. Don't cut too close to your finger. Good. There we go. I cut up my strips. Now, we are going to try something else. This is called Fringe. Okay, and I'll write it up here so you can see. Oh, I don't have anything to write on. Let's write it on the back of this. Fringe. Starts with an R. Fringe. Fringe, you'll see, it's on the edge of something, and it usually, let's see here, hold on. Okay, I take my paper. So, fringe is at the edge of something, okay, and it's when there's loose pieces hanging off. And so you could have fringe on the end of, usually it's on the end of fabric, okay? And there's pieces or tassels or fabric or string hanging off. We're gonna do it with our paper. It's a really good thing to practice cutting with, okay? And so fringe, you take your piece of paper, whatever kind of paper you have, you could use big paper, little paper, I'll use big so you can see. Fringe is when you cut at the edge here and then you stop. You don't cut all the way through your paper. So I'm just making little cuts all the way across my paper, and let's see if you can see it in the camera here. That's called fringe, when you have these little tassels or little pieces of paper hanging down. Can you see that? See if you can put fringe all the way across your paper. Let's see if I can do it. Cut, 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 cut. You know, we could put fringe all the way around the whole border. The border is the edge of the paper. That would be a cool border, fringe border. You have to be careful in the corners though. I might cut. Let's see, so I get to this corner. Ooh, look, I have fringe the whole way. Can you see it? It's hard to tell. I'm trying to see if you can see it in my screen. Ooh, there, that's a good image of it. You can see it. Oh yeah, that looks cool, right? I'm gonna try and go on this side too. Okay, here we go. Fringe it up. Ooh. Okay, so now I have it on both edges. Can you see that? It's hard for me to show it to you on my screen. Let me see if I can. All right, so I did 2 sides of my paper with fringe. I'm gonna try the other 2 sides. I'm gonna keep going. Got my thumb up, pinching, 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 and got my thumb up on my paper hand. Are my elbows in the air? No, keep your elbows down. Here we go, and cut, 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 cut. Let's try this side. Oh, I'm getting tired cutting. Are you getting tired of cutting? Should we take a nap in the middle of the lesson for a little bit? You think? Okay. I think I heard a lot of kids say, yes, Mrs. Ash, we love to take naps. Okay. Put your head down. Wake up! Okay, you're up now. Okay, good. I can't keep you in focus. I can't keep myself in focus. Okay. We took our nap. We have 3 edges cut. I'm almost done. Okay, here we go. Keep cutting. Cut. Cut, 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 cut. Cut. I don't know if you can see me there. Cut, cut, cut. I hope you're cutting too along with me. Okay, I fringed my whole paper. This side, and this side, and this side. That's cool. It sounds nice. Okay, so we have cut some smaller papers completely off like this. We have fringed, where we just cut little cuts along the edge of something, okay, and that creates a fringe border. Now let's try something else. This is called cutting on a path, okay? So you can take a scrap piece of paper, or you could find a blank piece of paper, whatever you want to use. This is cutting on a path. So I'm going to use the back of this paper I have a turtle on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a line from the bottom of my paper all the way almost to the top, but then I'm going to stop. I'm going to put a little smiley face where I want my line to stop. I'm going to make a circle. I'm going to put 2 dots and a smile. Okay, now I'm going to make my line all the way up to the smile. Okay, here I go. Ooh, I'm going to just do kind of like a straight line so it's not too tricky to cut. Whoa, gotta find that circle. Go. Stop. Woo! Okay, now I'm going to make another one. Now, smiley face. Sorry, that's a little hard to see with that turtle kind of showing through. Now I'm going to make sort of like a little bit of a wavy line. I don't want it to be too wavy because I'm really just practicing my cutting skills and I don't want to get myself too frustrated. So I'm just going to make a little bit of waves, but not too much. Okay, now let's do one more. Uh-oh, there's something orange in the middle of that. 2 dots and a smile. Okay, and now I'm going to make one more wavy line. Maybe I'll do some waves and some straight. Okay, so I have some wavy lines and some straight lines, but I'm not going to try any other lines right now because I don't want to get myself frustrated with my cutting. You can make the kind of lines that you want to make, okay? Now my job is to cut all the way from the bottom, all the way, and you get to this smiley face. You stop! Don't cut the smiley face off! Okay, here we go. Do you think I should take a nap again before I get started just to make sure I'm ready? You guys all want to take naps. I can hear you. Oh, I think I can hear you through the screen telling me you want to take naps. Okay, let's cut this first, then we'll take a nap. Okay, all right, here we go. All right. So what I'm going to do, let's see if I can get you to see this without having to move my whole screen. Okay. I'm going to start at the bottom. Maybe I'll stand up. You'll be able to see me better. Okay, start at the bottom. Yeah, okay. And I'm going to try my best to follow this path. This is called cutting on a path. So I'm just trying to follow my line. This is tricky, so don't get mad. As I'm following the line, I'm doing little tiny cuts. You can see little tiny cuts. I'm barely, you can see here, I'm barely even closing my scissors. Not big mega cuts. Okay. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Don't cut off your smiley face's head. Woo! Okay, let's see. This is kind of like Fringe too, because they're hanging. Okay, I did that one. Okay, I'm gonna do my next one. I think I'm gonna do the straight one next. I think the straight one seems like that would be the easiest. I should have started with that one. Okay, I'm starting at the bottom. Doing little cuts all the way along my path. Follow your path to get to your smile. Follow your path. Go, 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 go. Stop! Now, if your scissor cutting gets off of the path, is that okay? Of course, we're just practicing. Okay. This is a tricky one in the middle. I gave myself a challenge. Here we go. You can't even see me. Weaving my hand in and out. I'm trying to follow that path. Follow that path. Keep going. Far, it's far. Woo! Oh my goodness, look at these. This is so silly. All right, so far today, I have followed a path with my scissors. I have cut completely through skinny paper with my scissors. I have made fringe with my scissors. we are doing a lot of scissor practice today. So let's do one more scissor practice, and then you can create whatever you want for your scissor skills. So I got out some Play-Doh. Okay, now you might have Play-Doh, you might not have Play-Doh. If you don't have Play-Doh, you can skip this part, okay? It's just one more way to practice with scissors. But if you don't have Play-Doh, then don't worry about it. So what I do with my Play-Doh is I roll it into a long snake. Okay, so it's like a ball. You roll it into a snake. And when you do that, you press down and push forward, okay? All right, now I'm gonna cut. Practicing cutting skills on this Play-Doh is really fun, okay? So now I'm gonna do that same sort of cutting through that I did on this type of paper. So if you don't have Play-Doh, cut a strip of paper like this, and you're gonna be doing the same practicing that we would use for Play-Doh. So you're going to cut, 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 cut. It's the same cutting skill that we did the very first time. Let's try it on the Play-Doh. Cutting Play-Doh is fun. Let's see if I can set them all up. Can you see them? You could keep it on your table too. And if it gets a little bit of Play-Doh on your scissors, that's okay. You can wipe them off with water. Scissors can even go in the dishwasher. Okay, get a little paper towel with a little water on it. Look how many cuts I made. Let's see, how many did I make? So if you did it with Play-Doh, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And if you did it with paper, let's see how many I did with paper. 1, 2, I can't see my paper. Move this back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my goodness, I have a lot going on. I have all these papers I cut. I have my fringe I cut. I have my paths I cut. Okay, those were all your practices for today for me. So now, for the rest of the time that you have for art, I want you to cut something that you come up with. So maybe you could find something in your house like this old calendar I found. And I thought it would be fun to cut this up because it's a little bit thinner than regular paper. So you could work on continuing to cut, practicing cutting those lines. You could draw paths again. You could make your own design to cut out. Maybe you want to try cutting a shape. Maybe you could try practicing cutting out a circle or a square. So you can decide what you're going to cut next. When you want to turn this into me, you can take a picture of all your cut up stuff. You could put them all in a pile like this. Right, and get your Chromebook and get a picture of it. Or you could take a picture of your paths that you cut, or maybe you tried it on the Play-Doh idea. You could take a picture of your cut up Play-Doh. So, or your fringe. I'd love to see your fringe. That's a good idea. So we have so many ideas for cutting today. So I want you to practice a couple of those. Try out the ones that seem fun. Practice remembering to keep your thumb up. Okay, and this whole year we'll keep practicing with scissors and making some things. But before we try and cut out shapes and things that are a little bit harder, we have to start to get better at cutting things like making a path and cutting fringe and all of these different scissor skills. So awesome job. Thanks for visiting me. And wait, I think I said we were going to take a nap after we did our cutting, but we didn't take it yet. So lay down. Okay, wake up. Your nap is over. 2 naps in art class. That's all that you're allowed to take. Okay, I will see you next week. Don't forget to take a picture of your cutting. I want to see you working. All right.